My name is Marie Bateman and I'm a homeschool moderator. I have worked with the Education Department for 60 years and my role is to come out to assess a program, to see that a program is in place and that the child is making progress at whatever rate is suitable for that child. So the child is viewed as an individual and we are looking for evidence of progress. What we expect from the parents are that they have planned for their child's progress, they have collected evidence of their child's progress, and that their child is enjoying learning. A lot of the evidence depends on the program the parents have designed, and that can be textbooks, activities the children have done. It can be photos of things that children are involved in, and perhaps some feedback from the child as to what they did learn from that project. So not just some blank photos of the child standing in an environment, but for the child to say what they enjoyed and what they learnt from that environment. So the file can be a practical file, concrete file, where you keep a copy of evidence of each subject area, or it can be a digital file if you choose. We are meant to be delivering the Australian curriculum. The reason we are delivering this Australian curriculum because it is a spiralling curriculum that introduces students to languages and concepts at different levels right through the years of formal education. Moderator meeting usually happens once a year, unless there is some reason for the moderator to come back and check there's not sufficient evidence, that there's no program in place. But you should be designing the program around your individual child with the Australian curriculum in as an overview. The homeschool parents will then get a report from the moderator or through the district office. I personally believe that no parent wants to do the wrong thing by their child. The intention is good, but you think about education and it's happening for 6 hours, 5 days a week. So you have to be realistic about what the requirements are for you as taking on the role of the educator. But certainly you should not be worried about the moderator coming. You have to ask yourself, are you doing the very best you can to progress your child? If you are, there's no need to worry about the moderator coming. I had a large family. We were on a farm, and I feel I'm a passionate educator. I believe that every child can learn, and so I do think that you have to plan it. I do think that you have to think about if the delivery is difficult, then what do you need to do to adapt it to that child's level, and thinking what would it, the same as you do teaching a child to toilet train, to eat independently, etc. You're thinking, here is the starting point, what is the goal, and what you're going to do along the way to reach that goal. Many people do homeschool very well to year 12 level. I have seen some amazing things for students to year 12. But once again, it's not easy. You do have to know what you're doing. You do have to look for resources, and often those resources are expensive. And you do have to put in the time. So if you're doing those things, I think it's perfectly feasible. I have a friend who homeschooled her daughter, who is now the Director of Community Services. She represented Australia as Youth Speaks for Australia. She was in the West Australian Symphony Orchestra playing violin, so she achieved amazing things. But her parents were very strict about their homeschooling and, sort of put in a lot of hours and time, but it can be achieved. You need to follow the requirements for any student entering university, TAFE, etc. Because you're not sitting for the NAPLAN, you need to be aware that at year 10, students need to try for their ULNA qualifications, which means that they need to pass a reading, a writing and a mathematics assessment to say they have basic skills of reading, writing and mathematics. That is sufficient to allow you to go into TAFE at a base level and build then on a certificate through certificates till you could get university entry. So you're certainly able to do that. Well, the thing is, at year 11 and 12, you do not have a grade. So because if you're homeschooling, so then it is more difficult for you to enter university. You probably need to do it by going to TAFE and achieving the certificates or diploma in order to go to university.